Okay, so the first way we could approach this question is something that I'm going to call the targeted approach. And remember, this is just one of many different ways you could approach this type of question. So we're being told that we can reduce the completion times for the activity C, D, G, H, and K. So that is C, D, G, H, and K. And we're told that we can reduce them by a maximum of 2 weeks, and then we need to find the minimum time it will take to complete the entire project. Well, if we need to find the minimum time it takes to complete the entire project, it would probably be good to remind ourselves what the original minimum completion time was, which we found to be 35 in the previous questions. So we know that the minimum completion time before any reductions have taken place is 35. What we're now going to do is apply these 2-week reductions just to all of the areas that I can reduce here. So we're not going to do a full forward and backward scan, but the reason why I'm calling this a targeted approach is I'm just going to consider this part right here and this part right here, because they're the only parts that are really impacted. So before we apply the reductions, we know that this pathway right here, C to E, would have taken 5 plus 3 is 8, and this pathway would have taken 9. 9's the bigger area, 9's the bigger number, so it would have taken 9 weeks to complete this part right here. If we now apply our 2-week reductions, so that means 5 would become 3 and 9 would become 7. Well, now, if I was to say, well, how long is this portion now going to take? Well, we would say 3 plus 3 is 6, so no longer 8, it will take 6. And then this is just 7 because now there's a 7 there. 7's your bigger number. So 7 now is going to be how long it takes to complete this portion right here, 7 right here. So how much time have we saved? Well, we went from 9 to 7, so we have saved 2 weeks. So I'm going to subtract 2 from that. And now we're going to apply our same logic to just this portion right here. So again, what I would do is I would say, all right, G to J, how long is that pathway? It's going to be 4 plus 4 is 8. Or I could go G, I, K. How long would that take? G, I, K would be 4 plus 2 is 6. It would be 13. And then the last one I would need to consider is 5 plus 7, which would be 12. So as you can see, my biggest number there is going to be 13. If I now apply my reductions here, this is going to be reduced by 2 to be 2. This will be reduced by 2 to become 3. This will be reduced by 2 to become 5. And now we can do the same thing again. So we would say, all right, this is going to be 2 plus 4 is 6. This would be 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9. So that would be 9. And then this would be 3 plus 5 is 8. So my biggest number now is 9. So as you can see, it went from 13 from being my biggest number to 9, 13 to 9. How much of a reduction is that? That's a reduction of 4. So I have saved 4 weeks. So that means what I need to do now is go, what's 35 minus 2 and 4 is 6. What's 35 minus 6? It's going to be 29. And that's going to be my answer. It's going to take 29 weeks as the minimum completion time now. 29 weeks. Let me get a blue out. It would take 29 weeks to now complete this. That's the minimum time in weeks that the renovation project could take place. So remember, this is just one way of approaching this question, just by considering these portions of the graph right here and figuring out the new minimum time it would take to complete each of these sections, and then reducing that from the original minimum completion time. All right, hopefully that made sense.